examples of Jewish settlements. Sometimes this is how we refer to them in the media. In this case, it is called Ma'ale Adumim. It's a city of about 35,000 people, all of them Jewish people, that live here in a city that was built in the beginning of the 70s. As I mentioned before, when Israel conquered the mountains of Samaria and Judea, as well as Gaza Strip, we started to inhabit it, to build different settlements. And this is one of them, here, Ma'ale Adumim. Also in front of us, we can see two other examples, Nofei Prat and Kfar Adumim, a very typical Jewish settlement in the West Bank. You can see that it is built on top of the mountains. The houses are quite crowded, close to each other. They are surrounded by a fence for protection, and there is that white water tank on top of the mountain. Typical Jewish village in the West Bank. Today we have about 600,000 Jews who live in the West Bank, amongst almost 2.5 million Palestinians, such as in the city of Bethlehem or Jericho that we are going to visit later on. Take a look at this hill on the right hand side. Okay, there is almost no vegetation there. You can see the exposed rock. But behind that hill, there is a fence. Can you see the fence? Not the second one, but the first one. Behind that fence, can you see that there is much more vegetation there? Do you notice that? It's very conspicuous, right? Alright, over there behind the fence there is a military camp, okay, which of goat and sheep that constantly eats everything on the ground. So I was talking about the Good Samaritan. That city on top of the mountain is the outskirts of Rabat Ammon. Amman, the capital of Jordan. Can you see those buildings? I was asked about the black plume of the smoke. I guess that it's burning plastic. Okay? And you can see even here many greenhouses. Okay? Lots of the vegetables of Jericho inside of greenhouses. And then they get rid of the plastic. It is forbidden. We do not do that in the Israeli state. But we are not in Israel, we are in the Palestinian Authority. It's different, okay? Right, take a look around you. We are in the midst of the desert, an extreme desert. Take a look at the mountains, no vegetation over there. But if you look just in the area of Jericho, lots of vegetation, palm trees. It looks like an oasis. It is. Okay, the reason why there is so much vegetation here, it's because of two main springs that exist here. Okay, the water, it comes as rain in the mountains, and over there in Ramallah, for example, it rains quite a lot, more than half a meter of rain. It seeps through the rocks till it reaches an aquiclude, which is a rock that has no cracks. Okay, so it continues to flow parallel to that layer till it finds an exit. since this area is so low, 250 meters below sea level, that's the place where that water finds an exit. Okay? One of those springs, you cannot really see it, but it's right underneath that roof over there. It's a spring called the Spring of Elijah. Why is that? It is mentioned in the Bible. Okay, it is mentioned in the Bible. One of the interesting stories regarding that spring. So over there it is written that there was a Jewish community back then, 2,700 years ago. But suddenly they noticed that the ladies, the women, became unfertile. Can you say that? They couldn't give birth. Okay, and lots of people got sick, and they thought that it's because of something that happened to the water of this spring. And then they called Elijah the prophet, okay, to come and to do something to heal those waters. And what did he do? He took a plate of copper, he put salt on that plate, he spread it inside of the water, and a few days later they saw that it cured that spring, and people could drink from it again. Okay?